Today I'm going to show you how to make a monotype print. A monotype print is when you paint on a smooth surface. So in this case, I chose this smooth-ish surface, the bubble wrap. I painted a picture on it, and when I was finished, I laid my piece of paper down on top of it to pull up my print. Now to set up my print, I'm first going to tape my bubble wrap onto a piece of cardboard. This is more to protect my table so I don't get it very messy. And I'm going to tape the edges on here so that it stays still. At this point, now that it's taped down, we're ready to begin painting our bubble wrap. So I have some tempera paint here. And what I'm going to try to remember as I paint is that I want to keep my objects really large. Because there are these spaces in the bubble wrap, it's hard to do small details. So if you look on here, on the first one that I showed you, I kept my objects really large, and I even outlined them so we'd be able to tell what they are a little bit more. So just keep that in mind as you paint, that you want to make your objects really big. Now, something that I didn't mention, but it's really important, is that when you're making a monotype print, you have to be working quickly. The last thing you want is for your paint to dry before you stick your paper on it. So try to work quickly with these monotypes. So now that I'm finished here, I can take my piece of paper and register it. That means I'm lining it up because I want it to be straight. I don't want it to be crooked or off to the side or hang off the page. I really want to make sure that my entire picture fits on here. So I'll gently line it up and then very carefully place it down. And then with one hand holding it still, I'm gently going to press with the other hand and do the same thing over here, just because I want to make sure that the entire image transfers onto my piece of paper. And when I feel like I've done a good job with it, then I can pull this off to reveal my image. Now, if my paint is pretty wet here, then I could even create a ghost print. And a ghost print is when I don't add new paint, I just take a piece of paper and I place it right on top again and press it down to see if I can get another print out of it. And when I think I've pressed everywhere, really gently, then I can pull it up to reveal my ghost print. Now the last step in this process is to sign my artwork. So what I'm going to start with is the title. So I'm going to make sure that it goes to the edge of my picture here, and I'm going to go right under the picture. I don't want to put it on the corner or on the bottom. Right underneath where my picture is, I'm going to give it a title. And I might just call this Under the Sea. And I'm putting it in quotation marks. Now, a few other things that you could include here are your name. You definitely want that, but you also want to put the year that you made it to. And if you're making multiple of the same picture, a series number. Since this is just going to stand by itself as a monotype, I don't need a series number. So I'm just going to write my name and the year I made it. Now, I mentioned before that this is a monotype. A monotype is a print that stands just by itself, so I wouldn't be making any more. If I wanted to turn this into a mono print, I would be making a series. So what I could do is take my original bubble wrap here, wash off the bubble wrap, and then paint another picture that sort of has to go along with this. So it might be the same fish, but maybe it's doing something else. Or just stick with my theme of fish or under the water or something like that. So you could also turn your picture into a series if you wanted to. And now it's your turn. Come up with a plan, paint some bubble wrap, and make a print of your own.